Hello and welcome back to DevPulse. This time we're gonna talk about the most exciting releases of March. So without further ado, leave a like, subscribe if you want more videos like this. Let's go. Now let's shift gears completely, because if you're into strategy, planning and brain-melting decision making, Slay the Spire 2 might be your game of the year. The original Slay the Spire basically created the modern roguelike deck building boom. Before it, the genre was very niche, and after it, everyone wanted in. The formula sounds simple on paper. You build a deck of cards, climb a tower, fight enemies, collect relics, and try to survive as long as possible. But it has insane depth. Every run is different, every choice matters, every card you add to your deck can either unlock synergy or completely ruin your build. And that's what makes Slay the Spire so addictive. Now, with Slay the Spire 2, expectations are sky high. The developers have promised new characters, new mechanics, new enemy designs, and crucially expanded strategic layers. What made the first game special wasn't flashy visuals, it was balance, it was the design precision. There were no wasted systems. Everything interacted with everything else. Relics, modified cards, triggered combos, status effects stacked in clever ways. It felt like chess, but with cards. If the sequel preserves that elegance, while adding meaningful complexity, we're looking at something special. And there's another thing to consider: replay value. The original game had insane longevity. Thousands of players logged hundreds, even thousands of hours. That's rare for a single-player card-based roguelike. But that tight gameplay loop kept people coming back. And if Slay the Spire 2 introduces more build diversity, more branching paths, and more meta progression options, this could be even bigger than the original. It's not flashy, it's not cinematic, it doesn't rely on massive open worlds, but it's smart and it's fun. And sometimes, smart design wins. If you're the type of player who loves optimizing builds, discovering broken combos and saying, okay, one more run, this game is dangerous, and it's for you. And now, we need to talk about one of the most ambitious games on this entire list, Crimson Desert. This is not a small project, this isn't an indie passion title, this is a massive open world action RPG that's been in development for years, and it aims to compete with some of the biggest names in the genre. Set in the brutal medieval fantasy world, Crimson Desert combines story-driven quests, large-scale battles, political drama, survival elements, and dynamic combat systems. It's a mouthful, I know. It's being developed by the creators of Black Desert Online, but this is a fully single-player focused experience. And visually it looks incredible. We're talking realistic lighting, detailed landscapes, weather systems, and fluid combat animations. The game world looks alive: forests, castles, war-torn battlefields, villages full of NPC activity. But what really stands out is the combat. Unlike traditional RPGs, they rely heavily on stat check mechanics. Crimson Desert appears to lean towards skill-based action combat. Dodging, blocking, chaining attacks, environmental interaction. It looks dynamic and amazing. If it delivers on that promise, it could sit comfortably alongside games like The Witcher or even certain Souls-inspired titles. And it also features massive battlefield encounters, siege warfare, political factions clashing for control. You're not just a wandering hero, you're part of a larger conflict, and that gives the narrative weight. The thing is, ambition can be a double-edged sword. When a game tries to do everything: open world exploration, deep narrative, survival mechanics, dynamic combat, etc., it risks spreading itself too thin. However, if the systems actually come together cohesively, Crimson Desert could surprise everyone. It could become one of those breakout RPGs that defines a console generation. And that's why so many people are watching it closely, including myself. It has blockbuster potential, it has scale, and honestly, the combination makes it one of the most exciting releases of the month. Alright, let's talk about one of the most fascinating revivals happening in gaming right now, Marathon. Now, If that name sounds familiar, that's because this isn't a brand new IP. Marathon was originally a 90s sci-fi shooter from Bungie, before they went on to create Halo and later Destiny. And now, decades later, they're bringing it back, but not as a traditional campaign shooter. This new Marathon is being positioned as a PvP-focused extraction shooter set in a mysterious sci-fi universe, and yet that alone makes it one of the boldest moves. Extraction shooters are no joke. They live and die on tension. You drop in, collect loot, complete objectives, and then try to get out alive while other players are hunting you down. The stakes are high because if you die, you lose everything you brought in. That risk versus reward loop is addictive, and when done right, it's incredibly intense. Bungie knows how to design tight gunplay. Destiny's shooting mechanics are some of the smoothest in the industry. The way weapons feel, the sound design, the feedback, it's a premium. So they bring the same polished Marathon, and based on the feedback from the early access, they did. This could easily become one of the most mechanically satisfying shooters on the market. Visually, the game also stands out. Instead of gritty realism, it leans into bold, vibrant sci-fi art direction. Neon colors, futuristic armor, sleek environments. It doesn't look like every other military shooter, and that's a big win in today's crowded FPS landscape. But the real question is this: can Marathon carve out space in the competitive extraction shooter market? Because it's not just competing with other shooters, it's competing with live service giants. It needs strong seasonal updates, meaningful progression, rewarding loot systems, and fair balancing. Players are demanding. If something feels off, players will move on fast. Still, if anyone understands long-term live service ecosystems, it's Bungie. They've been refining that model for years. Marathon could either be a breakout hit that defines the next phase of competitive shooters, or it could struggle under the weight of expectations. Either way, everyone is watching closely, and that makes it one of the most talked about releases of this month. But that's not all. Wrestling fans are eating well this month too. After years of rebuilding the franchise's reputation, WWE 2K has finally found its footing again. With improved mechanics, smoother animations, and expanded game modes, 2K26 aims to build on that momentum. Expect updated rosters, refined creation tools, and maybe some surprises in showcase mode. If you love sports entertainment, this might be your most played game of the month. Life is Strange Reunion. Emotional storytelling makes a return. Life is Strange Reunion continues the narrative-driven adventure formula that fans adore. These games focus on choices, relationships, and emotional consequences. Expect branching dialogue, character-driven drama, and that signature indie soundtrack vibe. If you enjoy story-first experiences, where your decisions shape the outcome, this will likely be one of March's most heartfelt releases. Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Death Stranding 2 is easily one of the most talked about games this month. Some people love the slow, atmospheric delivery missions in the original, others called it a walking simulator. But the thing is, it was unique. It has beautiful art direction and incredible mechanics. With On the Beach, we're expecting a bigger world, expanded gameplay systems, and more cinematic storytelling. Kojima doesn't play it safe, and that's what makes his project so fascinating. Whether you love the first game or were confused by it, this sequel is going to spark conversations for a PC community, and honestly, that alone makes it one of the biggest releases of the month. Okay, that's it for this month. Let me know in the comments what is your favorite game release of this month of March, and see you in the next one. See ya!